Hi, this is Jackie's Reading Room, and I'm your host, Jackie P. Have you turned some pages today? In her 2019 book, The Path Made Clear, Oprah Winfrey writes, "Throughout my life, and I bet yours too, certain works of literature and film have completely changed the lens through which I see the world." I totally agree with this, and I believe you do too. As I was doing my research, I came across this website called stacker.com that has an article from February 2022 that is entitled 50 Black Writers Whose Impact Went Beyond the Page. The article starts like this. So let me read that intro to you. Throughout America's history, African American authors have represented a rich and diverse body of literature. They've contributed fiction and nonfiction, novels, short stories, essays, poetry, scholarly articles, academic writing, and everything in between. The narratives they've added to American storytelling have shifted perspectives and created new dialogues around race, culture, politics, religion, and sociology. The stories they've told, both as creative writers and documentarians, have entertained, educated, and informed. In many cases, their work has gone as far as changing policies, practices, and cultural norms, not to mention shaping how the Black experience is viewed and understood in America. I thought it was a great way to get started, and I'm going to put the link to the full article so you can discover these 50 incredible authors, including James Baldwin, Maya Angelou. Oprah is actually as well in there. So today, let's celebrate the excellent Black writers out there and their work, but not just today, right? Every day. As I was preparing this episode, I went through the books I had read in the last year or so, and I found three titles that stood out that were written by Black authors and that had an impact on the world and that also had an impact on me as I was reading their work. Interestingly, as I was looking at the list, there are 3 books of nonfiction. But later on in the episode, I will tell you about some works of fiction that I'm very excited to read. So the first book I read is Hunger by Roxane Gay. It was mentioned briefly in episode 1. Wow. I don't know. Have you listened to episode 1 of Jackie's Reading Room? As one of the great books I read in 2021. And Roxane Gay is found in that list of 50 Black writers. She's a very well-known, I would say, writer, especially for that memoir, Hunger, that is also subtitled A Memoir of My Body. And in it, she talks about the trauma that she went through when she was a child that led her to start eating and eating and eating so much to sort of create this barrier by making herself not desirable. This book was a complete revelation to me. I loved it. I had some of my students read it, and everyone who read it loved it as well. So I strongly encourage you to pick it up. It's from 2018. A bit more recent, 2021, is Will by Will Smith. Now, I don't think I need to introduce Will Smith to you. And what I did is I actually got the audiobook for Will Smith. One of my previous episodes deals with audiobooks. Let me see. Was it? It was a few weeks back. I guess I'm trying to find it fast. Episode 16. I have to tell you this. If you are listening to Will Smith in your car, there's no way you can have a bad morning. He makes voices. He even sings sometimes a little bit. I have to tell you, I loved this. It felt like Will was telling me his story. And as a little aside, I also have on audiobook, one of Oprah Winfrey's titles, which is, I believe, called What I Know for Sure. And same thing. You cannot be unhappy and down if you listen to Oprah in your car. There's something about that. So try that. I encourage you. And the last book that I wanted to tell you about is Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson, who is a lawyer, and he works with wrongfully incarcerated prisoners, mostly African Americans, and he fights for them through his organization. I learned so much from that book, right? Nonfiction for me is really a way to learn a lot. I did talk about nonfiction before, and I love to read memoirs because I learn a lot about the person, but not just that, about their take on the world, and in this case, on what he does, and on the justice system in the U.S. and how many people in 80s, 90s were put in jail. Impossible to read this book and not come out touched, in awe of what he does, and with a greater knowledge and appreciation for all these people who work in the system, and for all these people who have been freed as well, thanks to him. So Just Mercy, 2015, put that on your list as well. Now, my TBR pile, you do know this, it's very long, and of course it grows every day. Has a lot of Black writers in it, and there's a lot more fiction now that I would like to get to. One of the first ones that I want to get to is The Violin Conspiracy. This was published in 2022 by Brendan Slocum, and he is actually he is a musician himself. He was raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He has a degree in music education, and for more than 20 years, he's been teaching and performing with orchestras in the U.S. So the story is about this violin player whose violin is stolen, and he has to find the violin before this great competition that's going to start. So I just bought actually the paperback version today, and it looks great. I did talk about, right, covers that attract you. So it's got a bright yellow cover, and on the cover you have this drawing of a violin, but very bright colors with turquoise and hot pink and orange. So I'm totally attracted to this book, and I can't wait to get to it. Another one that I feel like I should be reading, and I guess I should have read already, is the great modern classic Beloved from 1987 by none other than Toni Morrison. You might know, of course, that it was made into a film where Oprah played one of the main roles. Toni Morrison was actually the first Black woman to win the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1993. And this story of Beloved, I really want to get to it. I have like the paperback copy here as well, with, I believe, an image from the film. So I'm definitely going to read that. It's not a very long book, but it needs to be part of my books that I have read and loved, hopefully. There are many of others I could talk to you about, but I wanted to bring to your attention The Underground Railroad, written by Colson Whitehead. Came out in 2016, and along with his novel The Nickel Boys that came out in 2019, Colson Whitehead won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction for both. I don't know how many people can actually say that. I think that's quite an achievement. Now, you may know that The Underground Railroad was made into a series in 2021. It's an Amazon original, and it was directed by Barry Jenkins. He's the one who made the very beautiful Moonlight. Excellent film. I thought it was totally heartbreaking. I believe I've talked about this, but I always want to watch after I've read, right? not before. Sometimes I'll make exceptions because maybe I want to watch when everybody else is watching. But in general, I really want to read before. So once again, the Underground Railroad is in my pile, and hopefully it's going to be read this year. That would be a nice goal. And I really wanted to celebrate, Black writers in this Black History Month, right? February, as I am recording this. But I think we should celebrate them not just in February, of course, year round. And there is an episode on diversifying your reading. Why not go out there and try to find perhaps an author from a different nationality that you've never read, right? So maybe an Australian author, maybe you've never read a French writer and their books have been translated and you can pick that up. Or, of course, you can also go to your local library or bookstore and pick up one of the many titles written by these excellent and very talented Black authors and start reading. So hopefully you're going to turn some pages. And if you enjoyed this, please share, and I'll talk to you soon.